Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Marcus Pavilion in Lacey, Washington. It is whiteout night. It is packed to Pavilion, presented by Twin Star. My name is Scott Gladstone. Alongside me is Sean Wally. And not only do we have a great theme night, festivities going on, the biggest crowd of the season expected, we have the heavyweight showdown atop of GNAC men's basketball. The number one in the standings, MSU Billings Yellow Jackets, and the number two in the standings, St. Martin Saints, the defending regular season champions. Sean, this game, it's everything you could dream of, right? For a great night, it's going to be a great atmosphere.
The one-loss Yellow Jackets, the two-loss Saints. What more can you ask for? We had a great game in game number one. Game two on paper should be as good or better than our earlier women's game. This is going to be an amazing evening. Already has been. Saints, with a win, elevate to number one in the conference.
We'll be right back after the starting lineups to bring you GNAC men's basketball from atop the standings.
Number one, Jawan Pot. A 6'8" senior, number 4, Bilal Shabazz. A 6'7" junior, number 5, is Stephen Richardson. A 6'2" senior, number 13, Carrington Wiggins. And a 6'11" sophomore, number 32, Emmanuel Ajonruku. Head coach is Mike Durham, assisted by Luke Denali.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Marcus Pavilion. It is the showdown we've been waiting for, opening weekend of the men's basketball season here in 22-23. The Saints welcomed in MSU Billings to face Cal State San Marcos, as well as Holy Names University. However, they did not play each other. They've just both played those two opponents. And right away, the opening bucket goes to MSU Billings. Stephen Richardson lays it up and in. It is 2-0 Billings right off the bat.
Early bucket for Richardson, all too easy. Saints need to keep an eye on that.
Hunter Sipe from downtown buries it. And the Saints are in front after 30 seconds of play. Saints going to come out in their typical 2-3 zone with the elevated wings, preventing three-point shooting. However, this is not an MSU Billings squad that is built on three-point shooting. They're built on defense first. They get back, they stop fast breaks, they slow down the pace of play. You're seeing it right here. Ticking the shot clock to 5 seconds. Carrington Wiggins taking over and missing the shot. Rebound goes to Brandon Bunn and the Saints.
Difference there, 4 Saints under the hoop, 4 Yellow Jackets the other way.
Brandon Bunn pulls up, misses it. Rebound the Yellow Jackets. 3-2 here with over a minute gone in half number 1. Ajanaku guarded by fellow big man Shaquem Alcindor. High hooking shot to give the Jackets the lead.
That could be a monster meeting down low between those two big men.
Those are two big bodies that wear the number 32. One of the numbers that, as this one is missed, rebound to the Jackets. They both have Shaquille O'Neal type assets in their pocketbook. They both play big and sometimes angry down below the hoop. This one's a Ajanaku across, and then the tap off to Tot. Rebound goes to the Saints before it's scrapped and eventually given back to the Yellow Jackets, and then that one's hit out of bounds off the leg of number 4 by Lal Shabazz.
It's a great strip by Nielsen Skinner. It was talked about on Thursday with our special guest, Jeff Lucero, that Skinny may have one of the better, if not best, IQs in basketball.
Yeah, he plays really smart, and that's exactly what you want from your point guard, the quarterback of the basketball court. Shaquem Alcindor rotating it around. Gets it to Brandon Bunn. Hunter Sipe, the only points for the Saints tonight, has the ball. Gets it back to Bunn, but it's taken away by Carrington Wiggins. Wiggins then holds up. And a bullet pass off the hands of Ajanaku. Turnover goes the way of the Saints, down 1 with over 2.5 gone.
Great energy in the building, a large crowd, large enough to have the across the way second deck of bleachers out and open. People are up there. The white shirts being given out for those that didn't wear white for the white out. Let's go.
Yeah, it is pretty clear to see the support that the St. Martin's men's basketball team have picked up throughout the season. Aaron Landon and anybody that was here during his first season, as that one rims out. Offensive rebound to Nate Stokes. Anybody that was here during the first season of Aaron Landon know that support sometimes dwindled in his single-digit win season. But he has brought the Saints back to greatness. Hunter Sipe has helped that a lot with a three-pointer. 6-4, Saints in front.
Hunter Sipe 6, MSUB 4.
Yep, he is outscoring the two Yellow Jacket buckets, and another slippery ball to Ajanaku that bounces off the hands of the big man out of Lagos, Nigeria.
Was I not supposed to oil it up before the game?
I mean, I was having pizza before the game, but I did not touch the ball, I swear. 6-4 here with 16:30 to go in half number 1. Pack the Pav night presented by Twin Star Credit Union here at Marcus Pavilion. Backing down Steven Richardson is a fellow number 5, Kyle Greeley. He'll take some contact and still put that one down the bottom of the net.
Nice of Greeley to take some pressure off of Sipe, having to score everything.
This one's down low to Ajanaku. He can't get it to go from point-blank range. That was Kyle Greeley that came over to help on defense. Didn't do much against the much larger Ajanaku, and now it's Skinny putting Todd on skates and floating it through.
I think he made it rain with that teardrop.
That one nearly scraped the roof of Marcus Pavilion. 10-4, Saints in front in the early going. Ajanaku out to Wiggins. Wiggins guarded by Jaden Nielsen Skinner. He always guards the top perimeter player on the opposing team. So apart from his offensive responsibilities as a point guard and one of the top scorers for the Saints, he also has to work every second on defense. Three-pointer on the way. Missed shot. Rebound top. Carrington Wiggins going to reset the offense. 15 on the shot clock. Ajanaku guarded by Hunter Sipe. This is Tot to the bucket. And he puts it up and through off of the glass.
MSUB coming off a thrilling triple overtime win Thursday night down at Western Oregon.
It was a back and forth affair. We watched the end of regulation live on the broadcast as this is a beautiful pass. Wow. Super Bowl's tomorrow, but that was Patrick Mahomesian to find. Is that a word? Can I use that? Patrick Mahomesian?
You just did.
Okay, well, that was a beautiful play to find Hunter Sipe for a wide-open layup. 12-6 as the Saints double up. The Jackets, Carrington Wiggins off front iron. Rebound goes to Hunter Sipe. There's a foul as a slap on the wrist of Brandon Bunn comes from Carrington Wiggins. We'll take our first timeout of the contest. 12-6, Saints lead in the early going.
St. Martin's University President Dr. Jennifer Bonzracki and Director of Athletics Steve O'Brien are proud to welcome Twin Star Credit Union CEO Jeff Kenny to the court for tonight's ball presentation. Twin Star has always been heavily committed to the community they are located in, and as such have been generous supporters of St. Martin's University and Saints Athletics. We are proud to carry the Twin Star Credit Union name on our court and are forever grateful for this partnership. So thank you, Jeff, and all those at Twin Star Credit Union.
Back here in Lacey, Washington, a part of the greater Lacey Olympia Tumwater area. St. Martin's and Montana State University Billings. Billings making the trek out from the east side of the Big Sky State. Brandon Bunn squares up from three and puts it through the hoop, 15-6. Head coach Mick Durham in his fifth season at the helm of the Yellow Jackets. Surely not too thrilled with the start from his one loss in GNAC play MSU Billings squad. Pulls up from the free throw line, does by Lel Shabazz, and the Milwaukee, Wisconsin native puts it through. Skinny to Stokes. Stokes fires. He puts it through. 10-point lead for SMU with 13.5 to go in the first half of play. Saints back in the 2-3 defense. Again, Shabazz pulls up. That time it's missed, but the rebound goes to big Jimmy Brown, the Chandler, Arizona native. Worked around. Now this is Tott with a lot of contest. Puts it in off the glass. Jawan Tott and his brother Jalen Tott, both phenomenal players. JUCO transfers out of Dawson Community College. Originally from Dallas, Texas, a long way up north of their home state. Tried the no look, but clearly Bilal Shabazz did his homework and knows that Skinny loves his no look passes. This is Carrington Wiggins to throw it down, make it 18-12.
Wiggins had nobody to stop him on the baseline.
This is a game, a battle of play styles, as SMU more than happy to go quickly, shoot threes, make things happen. Speaking of a three-pointer from Brandon Bunn. On the other side, defense all the way. That's the number one thing that Mick Durham trains his guys in. Locking it down on the defensive side, slowing down fast breaks, and they're more than happy, as I mentioned, to set up half-court offense and run the shot clock down. They don't crash the offensive boards too hard. This is Shabazz with a step back, and right when I say that, an offensive board again from Jimmy Brown. This floater won't go. And Jimmy Brown threw that one backwards, but it hit out of bounds. He's asking for a foul for a hit on his head. He won't get it, but we will get a media timeout. The score is flipped, 21 for SMU, 12 for Montana State Billings. We'll be right back.
Banking with a big bank? How much does your bank contribute to your community? As a member of Twin Star Credit Union, your membership helps keep your money local, supporting your financial needs, your community, local businesses and charities that provide scholarships, teacher grants, and more. So why wouldn't you do your banking with us? Twin Star Credit Union, realizing financial dreams together.
We're back. 21-12 is our score. Tyke Thompson will inbound to Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, a.k.a. Skinny, for those who don't tune in to SMU broadcasts on the regular. And Champ Spencer for three, misses it. But we'll abbreviate that to Skinny for the most part to allow ourselves a chance to rest our mouths. Ball being worked around. The other top brother, Jalen, is now in, as well as Abdul Ba, who's in. This is Stephen Richardson. Richardson misses the shot, but I'll tell you what, he is, I think, one of my favorite pickups that head coach Mick Durham grabbed, as Stokes spins, fires to Thompson in the corner for three.
Aaron Landon couldn't have asked for a better start from his team. They're shooting over 72%, nearly that from three as well.
This is Ba looking at Wiggins. Wiggins trying to piece it around. Now gets it to Todd. Again, you see this. Rarely will MSUB take a shot with less than 10 on the clock. This one's taken with 7 on the shot clock. Rebound goes to Spencer after the miss. Tyke Thompson nearly lost Richardson completely with the juke step, but Richardson recovers to contest the shot nicely, force a miss. Shaquem Alcindor will sit down at the scorer's table, ready to check into the contest. Good rotation around, finds a wide open Carrington Wiggins, who splashes it in from downtown, makes it 24-15.
Wiggins is one of the dangerous Yellow Jackets. You always got to know where he is on the floor.
It was him and Cameron Cranston, the two neck and neck for preseason GNAC Player of the Year, and Carrington Wiggins surely is one of the names on the short list for GNAC Player of the Year at the end of the season. Christian Hafner off balance from downtown. Saints still in the zone defense, getting it to the high post. Stephen Richardson attacking Stokes. Stokes will force a turnover out of him after Tyke Thompson's there to tip it away. Give and go. Tyke Thompson gets slapped as he goes to the rim, and he'll have a trip to the free throw line.
Do good on the defensive end, get rewarded on the offensive end. Something players always like. Thompson not quite able to convert the potential three-point play. Have to earn them from the free throw line with the Saints up 12.
Make it 13 after the first free throw make. I'll tell you what, look for a second like Tyke Thompson was trying to put somebody on a poster there, as Jimmy Brown was the one standing in the way that gets called for a foul. He has those hops, and he kind of left the floor looking like he was trying to sort high enough to slam it, but then adjusted and took the hit, makes both the free throws, gets to the hard way, 29-15. Out to Tot. Tot for three. He misses the shot. Oh.
Nobody wanted the hot potato.
And it is a good turnout for the MSU Billings Yellow Jackets as both Richardson and Skinny kind of laid off that one. Now Skinny will try and make up for it as he drives the key, but pulls it back out. Still guarded by Tot after all that running. Hafner from long range. Can't get it to go. Rebound goes to Jalen Tot. Jalen cross court. Ba to Wiggins. Wiggins can't get it to go. Rebound offensive before it's turned over. Then maybe not. Then back to MSUB and they'll slow it down. Ba gets it. Guarded by Thompson. There's been some frantic plays here, as this is a long shot. Rebound Tyke Thompson. They'll get to settle it. Saints up 11. Christian Hafner nearly made it 14 as that one just hit back iron. A bullet pass to Carrington Wiggins, who grabs his second dunk of the evening. Timeout St. Martin's with 7:50 to go. A back and forth contest, but the Saints hold a 9-point lead with 7:50 left in the first half. Back here, 29-20 is our score. 7:50 to go in this first half of play. Right now, Saints shooting 59% from the field, and the MSU Billings Yellow Jackets shooting 41%. The difference offensive rebounding at 6-1 in favor of the Yellow Jackets.
Saints starting to cool off with their hot shooting.
Brandon Bunn missed it, but the offensive board from big Shaquem Alcindor. That'll do. But as you mentioned, they have cooled off with their shooting. Before that, they were scoreless in over a minute and a half. Long pass across the court, and then a stolen pass. That was Cham Spencer and Shaquem Alcindor that helped get that one intercepted. This one poked out from behind. Ba bringing it up. Ba will stop, poke it up, but missed the shot. Rebound to the Saints there on the floor to get it. And somehow they escape a possible jump ball or turnover. Brandon Bunn now will attack. And an offensive foul is called on Brandon Bunn. Lowered the shoulder there to knock Jalen Tot back. Good charge taken by the Dallas, Texas native.
Tyler Velasquez saying a few words to Brandon Bunn. That's two straight possessions involving Bunn where not great things happened for St. Martin's. The turnover and now the offensive foul.
11-point lead for SMU, but if you know GNAC basketball, you know anybody can erase a deficit pretty quickly in this league. Shot is up and good. Again, Stephen Richardson, a JUCO transfer from Midland College. Nearly every player on this squad for Montana State Billings is a transfer. 2 out of the 3 that are not transfers that came here straight out of high school are the 2 Montana natives on the team. The floater from Brandon Bunn. Saints regain a double-digit lead. Working it around. Ajanaku guarded by Shaquem Alcindor. This one's thrown around, rotated to the corner. Steven Richardson can't make it go. That ball is bouncing all around and eventually goes off the head of Shaquem Alcindor before he commits the foul when Bilal Shabazz grabs a hold of it. There's just been some weird, the ball is bouncing weird places today. That one seemed to levitate for about a half second to a second on Shaquem's head. Also, I keep thinking about that play where both Steven Richardson and Jaden Nielsen-Skinner laid off of attacking the ball for a half second. This one's poked out, and again, the ball slippery as ever, squirting around the floor, eventually held by the Saints. Christian Hafner looking down low. Double comes quickly. Shaquem Alcindor misses. Rebound to the Yellow Jackets. It was Ba that grabbed it in front of his own bench. Tot, Shabazz, Ba, now Tot again. That is Jawan Tot. He wears 1, his brother Jalen wears 2. Down to the corner, Ajanaku slapped away, and it was off of Shaquem Alcindor. As I mentioned near the top of the broadcast, we have had the opportunity to see MSU Billings play before in person as they came here to Marcus Pavilion, took care of business, as did the Saints in the opening weekend of the 22-23 season. They beat Holy Names on day 1 before taking care of then number 9 ranked Cal State San Marcos on day number 2. Hafner will bring it up. He'll stop, pop it over to Spencer, and Spencer for 3.
Saints shooting over 50% from 3. Out to a 14-point lead.
They are looking good. The crowd's in white, and the Saints are up by double figures as we head to a quick break. We'll be right back on the Saints Digital Network. Back here, 4:29 to go in the first half of play. It's 36-22. St. Martin's is ahead of MSU Billings. This is a battle for first place, kind of, as the Saints, if they lose this one, it'll be MSU with a clear stranglehold on first place and a 2-game lead with 4 games for most teams to go. If St. Martin's wins it, then it's deadlocked at the top, and the head-to-head is also deadlocked at 1-1 between these two squads as SMU drop the game down in Billings. Another turnover. Steal goes to Kyle Greeley and the Saints.
Such a hot potato tonight. Slippery pig.
All over. You can also credit both defenses for playing well. Mentioned already the defensive prowess of MSU Billings. This one's knocked out of bounds. But the Saints in that 2-3 zone, they're getting a lot of hands into passing lanes. And here's Bunn. He'll go ISO.
3 to shoot.
On top.
Short.
Way short. Might have caught a piece of some fingernail on Juwan Tott's hand, but no matter what, it goes short, and it's a shot clock violation. It'll go the other way as Jimmy Brown checks back in for the Jackets.
Saints shooting 56.5%. Yellow Jackets down to 38.5.
Offensive rebound keeping them somewhat close. That three-pointer is going to be big as it silences the crowd here in Lacey. And then a turnover coming the other way. Steven Richardson will take some contact, and it's out of bounds off of SMU. This is a media time. Nope, it's not a media timeout. We already had our timeout, so we'll be forced to stay with you here. It's going out off of the Saints. And now the inbound will come up to the top of the key with a hand in his face. Couldn't get it to go. And a rebound goes to the Saints. That was by Lel Shabazz, missing that three-pointer from the top of the key. Skinny gets it out to Tyke Thompson. They'll set up. 36-25 is our score with 3 minutes to go before halftime. Foul called on Carrington Wiggins. I believe that is Carrington Wiggins' second foul. We've only had 5 total fouls called in this half. So for anybody to be on 2, that's not good in the big scheme of things. We probably won't see Wiggins for the rest of the half as head coach McDermott will play it safe. Stokes with it, guarded by Jimmy Brown, then a backdoor cut. Tyke Thompson to the bucket. Scores it over Abdul-Bah.
Nice lead from Stokes. Yellow Jackets come in winning 5 straight. Their only loss in conference Saturday, January 21st at Seattle Pacific. Saints
Demolished the Falcons of Seattle Pacific on Thursday night. Here's Bah for 3. In and out. The rim was not forgiving to Abdul-Bah. Saints will set up. Just over 2 on the clock. Floater doesn't go, and Tyke Thompson can't tip in the board. Steven Richardson guarded by Champ Spencer, but the Saints are back into the 2-3 zone. That is tipped away by Stokes. Stokes, the alley-oop to Tyke Thompson. Coming the other way.
How was that not a foul?
Well, I mean, it was either a flop or a foul because he threw himself kind of into Spencer. I think that's why they didn't give him the call. They didn't call a flop violation either, but great job from Spencer to stay disciplined and not do what it took to get the foul call. This is a missed shot. Now it's coming the other way. The refs are letting him play, and I guess I'll be fine with it until things start to get out of hand. This one's a made shot by Abdul-Bah to quiet the crowd, but they sure did love that alley-oop. Wow. 1 minute to go. Saints likely to tick this clock down. Ideal situation would be to go 2 for 1 here as Skinny, behind the back, wraparound pass, and then Skinny took a shot maybe with a hand or an elbow to the face. This one is a foul on the ground. That will result in a throw-in. You see right now, Tyke Thompson and Champ Spencer both mimic each other essentially with hands on knees, absolutely gassed. But a great shift put in from Champ Spencer, who's going to receive a smattering of applause from the crowd who recognized this effort. That one bounced around all weird, and in the end got out to Bah, who hit the three-pointer. I do not know what happened there. Just a weird ricochet. And it goes down for 3. There will be a 4-second differential between game and shot. Oh, it was a long 2 rather than a 3. This is a 3, and it is good from Kyle Greeley. 10 on the clock. Last shot will go to the Yellow Jackets. It's Tot with it. Now it's Bach, guarded by the much larger Tyke Thompson. The floater can't get it to go. Saints, they didn't have a perfect first half, but they had a heck of a first half, Sean.
Anytime you can shoot 9 of 18 from 3 and 55% overall, good things are going to happen. Hard not to have a lead going into halftime.
We'll be right back after the halftime break. It's 43-29, the Saints with a 14-point lead as they head to the locker room. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network.
Down to the court and stand in front of where the Saints bench is located. Again, if you are a senior student athlete, please come to the scores table side of the court and wait for the start of the celebration. Thank you. Come on, you senior student athletes. We've got 3. Right in front of the bench. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the Twin Star Credit Union Court for the first ever senior student athlete salute presented by Uncle Arnie's. Every year, St. Martin's is proud to have student athletes that represent the Saints well both in their sport, in the classroom, and most importantly, in the community. We would like to take this opportunity to recognize the graduating seniors that have dedicated countless hours to improve themselves, their team, the SMU Athletics Department, and St. Martin as a whole. We're going to start with our cheerleaders.
I don't know if I recognize you or not. I had just a couple glances.
Madeline
How you doing, bud?
Federico. Yobachania Frazier. And Kai Pudron. From the from the women's basketball team, number 30, Emily Nelson. From the men's soccer team, number 1, Hunter Asplin. Number 7, Jade Mendoza. Number 14, Christian Gordon. And number 18, Bryce Porter. From the women's soccer team, 0, Soph Mendoza. Number 11, Taylor Goodpaster. Number 17, Maddie Wolf. Number 18, Salma Perez. And number 36, Stephanie Rostel. From the volleyball team, number 9, Gracie Brenner. Number 13, Giselle Benetti. Number 22, Kylie Kuhn. And number 24, Brittany Duval. 20, Olivia Schmidt. And number 23, Megan Convery. From the men's golf team, Mason Rolletter. Ethan Panau. Jordan Torada. And Matt Turnquist. From the women's golf team, Catherine Primp. Jada French. And last but certainly not least, Catherine Swore. Let's hear it once again and give one more salute to all the senior student athletes in the class of 2023. Thanks again to O'Blourney for sponsoring the Senior Student Athlete Salute. And all fans, remember, if you bring your tickets from today's game to our O'Blourneys between now and next Tuesday, you get a 10% discount on food and drinks. Closer, pretend like you like each other. Congratulations to our graduating seniors of the year 2023.
Pavilion, ladies and gentlemen. We have a second half between number 1 and number 2 in the conference coming right up. In that first half, it was really no single player taking over, but the Saints from top to bottom, everybody that stepped on the floor got himself a bucket, and that was nearly the same circumstance for MSU Billings. They just got less buckets in total. The Saints only 3 more shots made, but 5 more three-pointers in addition to the 2 free throws. That makes up your difference. They shot 55% from the field and 50% from behind the arc. Scott Gladstone and Sean Wally with you for half number 2. Sean, what were your impressions of the first half? What stuck out to you?
The Saints are making more than they're missing, and that's a very easy and simple recipe for success. If you make more shots than you miss, you're going to score the points and probably win the game. Still have 20 minutes to iron that out, but right now a 14-point lead, and you got to think MSUB is going to shoot better in the second half because they only shot 38% in the first half.
That's a high percentage shot for Hunter Sipe to start out our second half. 45-29 is our score. With the amount of people here, our internet stream might be a little bit overwhelmed, as that should have been an offensive foul. You probably got a clear look at Emmanuel Ajanaku, who pushed off for himself.
Forearm.
That would have been offensive pass interference on the football court. That's an alley-oop to Shaquem Alcindor.
I'm not sure Skinny designed it that way, but he'll tell you he did.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
the fact.
It's always a pass. You always meant to do it when it goes well, right?
Hindsight's always 20/20.
If that shot hit the front of the rim and went in, it would have been a shot. That one, nice pass from Carrington Wiggins, but it's a missed shot from Ajanaku. He gets it back and is fouled. Again, like I was saying, with so many people in the building on the SMU Wi-Fi, we might be a little bit sketchy. Hopefully that gets cleared up soon, but just so you know, we're trying to get this stream out the best we can here, but this is the most packed that most people in recent memory have seen this arena. It's a great atmosphere for college basketball and a great 2 teams to play it. Step back from Carrington Wiggins, and a missed shot. Rebound goes to Shaquem Alcindor, who tips it to Brandon Bunn.
Bunn, right place, right time for that tip/rebound.
Then he gets it knocked away, coming the other way now. Cross-court Richardson guarded by Greeley. They try and bring the double in the corner. Nice find. A couple nice grabs. We saw some butterfingers in the first half as they try and play the high-low. Ball on the ground. Hunter Sipe fighting for it. And a timeout is successfully called by Hunter Sipe. And you talked about Jeff Lucero calling the IQ of Skinny one on the top. If Hunter Sipe was on the ground calling for a timeout, his is up there as well. We'll take our first break. 16-point advantage for SMU. Back here, Saints will inbound. as the full court press is being put on by Montana State Billings. Montana State Billings, the only GNAC school, the only NCAA Division II school in the state of Montana. 2 Division I schools there, no Division IIIs, and a myriad of NAIA schools. As a three-pointer is good from Brandon Bunn, make it 50 for St. Martin's.
Had an interesting sideways rotation on that shot, but it doesn't matter when it goes in. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Brandon Bunn, one of numerous good shooters on this team, and on the other team, Stephen Richardson can shoot the rock pretty good as well. They're going to need him plenty down the stretch. As Skinny gets the ball back and turns to the bucket, puts it off back iron. He was too open. Usually he's contested even more than that when he gets shots around the hoop. This is a Joniku. Now to Wiggins. Wiggins being shadowed everywhere he goes by Nielsen Skinner. Missed shot, rebound, Hunter Sipe. Hunter Sipe from long range. Can't get it to go. Rebound will be knocked around before a foul is called on Brandon Bunn. It looked to me like he had 2 hands on the ball, but at some point he scraped a wrist and is called for the foul. Right now, we'll check in kind of throughout the second half around the GNAC, give you some scoring updates. But we can tell you kind of a shocking score from up in Bellingham, where the GNAC tourney will be held at the beginning of next month. It is Anchorage taking it to Western Washington right now. Western Washington is fighting to be in the tournament played on their home floor, and that loss will surely not help them if it holds. Skinny to the rack. No foul called. Missed shot going the other way. Stephen Richardson just gets it to go. He was flying 1,000 miles per hour towards the bucket, but adjusts himself just as needed. Coming the other way now, Ty Thompson will bring it up. 14-point lead for St. Martin's. They've led for 91% of this game as Stokes was falling out of bounds. This is Hunter Sipe to the bucket. He tumbles to the floor. But a big bucket from Hunter Sipe on another nice backdoor cut. This one loops to Bilal Shabazz, who slams it home. Another kind of awkward pass that just bounced in the right direction for MSU Billings. And Shabazz was there with nobody in his way between him and the basket. Jaden Nielsen Skinner, a three-pointer. Lead at 17.
Saints now have 11 three-pointers. That is the first for Skinny. He wanted in on the three-point party.
NBA All-Star game and all their festivities coming up in a few weeks, but the three-point contest might as well be between the St. Martin's squad in this contest. Stephen Richardson, though, battling as well as part of the three-point contest. He hits another one in this second half. Lead back to 14. Greeley, count it, and the bucket.
It doesn't get more pretty than that. The strong dribble, the fadeaway, the floater, money.
We will take our first break of this second half. It's a 16-point lead and a free throw coming for Kyle Greeley. We'll be right back on the Saints Digital Network.
Therapy now has two locations, one in Lacey and one in Tumwater. It has been serving Thurston County with hands-on, personalized, individual treatment plans to help you achieve your goals and get back to your daily activities. Make sure to stop in to a location today or go to Inspires/
Back here, it's 15:05 to go. We have one final score from GNAC men's basketball, and it's the Nighthawks of Northwest Nazarene going to Ellensburg and defeating the Wildcats of Central Washington. Nazarene getting some distance in that fourth place battle. The 4 through 9 spot right now in the GNAC is all sorts of muddle with just 3 games between. Free throw is missed by Kyle Greeley. 15 minutes to go in the second half here, in a 16-point edge for St. Martin's University. Trying to work the high-low, but good adjustments for St. Martin's, and Kyle Greeley on defense there. Wiggins being double-teamed. They're not going to leave him. Going to throw it to Jimmy Brown. Great help defense all over from the St. Martin's squad. The missed shot and a dog pile in the middle. Gets tipped out. Tyke Thompson grabs it.
Impressive defense on that last possession by St. Martin's. Let's see if they can reward themselves with a bucket already up 16.
Wraparound pass gets to Stokes, then Greeley. Back to Skinny. Skinny with a screen from Stokes. They do a pick and pop with contact, gets to the lane, can't get it over big Jimmy Brown, who caused enough havoc to force a miss from Skinny. Cross court, Ba. Now Tot, that's Jalen Tot. He fires from 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Tyke Thompson. All the way down. Stokes tried to find Greeley under the bucket. It's a quick pass. Maybe would have been better off taking a 3 from the corner. Results in a turnover, then a foul on number 13, Nathaniel Stokes.
A foul by Stokes, all out of frustration. You're up 15, not the end of the world if you give that ball back to the Yellow Jackets. He made the pass that wasn't high enough, that was tipped. Wanted to make amends and instead committed the foul.
He'll take a seat here with 13:43 to go. Jalen Tot with it. Tot guarded by Christian Hafner here. He nearly gets his ankles broken. Now under the bucket to Jimmy Brown, who takes a foul from Tyke Thompson and will head to the line to shoot 2.
We haven't seen Shaquem Alcindor in a while. He's not in foul trouble. Of course, you're up 57-41. I'm sure if the game was closer, he'd be in there.
Yeah, it's interesting how head coach Aaron Landon uses Shaquem Alcindor. Almost always starts, almost always gets some buckets early, and then we see him used very strategically kind of throughout the rest of the game, depending on foul trouble and fatigue and all that. Both free throws made by Jimmy Brown. Now everybody who has stepped on the floor in this contest for either side has scored at least 1 point, with Jimmy Brown getting on the score sheet. 14-point lead for SMU. And that was the second time that Skinny has had a decent chance at the hoop, but just has not been able to put the perfect finish on it.
Wiggins is wide open and they don't see him.
Wow, that is not a guy you want to miss when he's wide open, but if you find Stephen Richardson with some space, he has been able to make the Saints pay plenty as well. 15 for Stephen Richardson. He leads all scorers, just ahead of the 12 from Hunter Sipe.
Important offensive possession for the Saints. They're up 11. They want to add to it and do not.
Missed shot there. Hunter Sipe was screaming at the ref. He said, I heard him say he's holding me to Stephen Richardson on the rebound. Saints only have drawn 1 foul this half.
Yellow Jackets a chance to cut their deficit to single digits.
Carrington Wiggins step back over Tyke Thompson. Not easy over the long frame of the Saints guard. This one's to Hunter Sipe. Now back to Skinny. Skinny guarded by Jalen Tot. Now Sipe guarded by Richardson. Throws it down low to Wiggins. guarding Tyke Thompson, and then Tyke Thompson tried to get it back to Hunter Sight, but he was tight-roping the sideline and stepped out when he touched that ball.
Those two not on the same page.
A little dysfunction in the past couple minutes from SMU. Will it open the door for Montana State Billings? We'll find out right after this break.
Banking with a big bank? How much does your bank contribute to your community? As a member of Twin Star Credit Union, your membership helps keep your money local, supporting your financial needs, your community, local businesses and charities that provide scholarships, teacher grants, and more. So why wouldn't you do your banking with us? Twin Star Credit Union, realizing financial dreams together.
Ladies and gentlemen, back in Marcus Pavilion, Scott Gladstone and Sean Wally with you here, bringing you the fifth to final game of the regular season for St. Martin's. As our PA announcer just read, they head to Alaska next week to take on Anchorage and Fairbanks, and then they'll be back home for Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington to close out the 2022-23 regular season. And both teams in this contest are already booked in terms of their tickets to Bellingham. The two teams in the conference that have secured a spot in the GNAC tournament. Double team coming before a cross-court pass. Chapaz then rotates around. Ba for three. Ba can't get it to go. Then slapped up court to Champ Spencer. Spencer will hold up the fast break, and they'll get it to Skinny. Hafner with it, guarded by Tott. Here's the interesting thing about Jalen and Jawan Tott. I said this, I believe, when they played here at the beginning of the season. They're almost never on the floor at the same time. Christian Hafner, fadeaway three. And it's a foul on Jalen Tott on the box out. He hit the deck, but they're going to call it on him.
He's looking for an explanation. He's the one on Twin Star Credit Union court. Wanted to know how he committed the foul.
Tyke Thompson, he'll get an open look for three.
The 12th three-pointer of the night.
They were scoreless in over 4 minutes, St. Martin's was, before that shot, much needed from SMU. Maybe it'll get their offense back to what it was. Their defense, however, has kept them in this contest. It's Ba to Shabazz. Shabazz now at the free throw line. He gets it to Tott. Tott drives on Skinny. Tough shot, fade away, can't get it to go. Rebound, Hunter Sipe. On the floor for St. Martin's right now, it's Skinny, Spencer, Sipe, Thompson, and Hafner. Hafner, the only men's basketball player in the GNAC with a 4.0 GPA, just released, leading the academic all-conference for the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. The kick out, Champ Spencer drains the three. Coming the other way, foul's going to be called. That was all Jaden Nielsen Skinner on that pump fake that sent Ajanaku flying, and then kicked it out for Champ Spencer for a wide open Drano. However, the two biggest crowd reactions we've seen, both times, MSU Billings has responded quickly up the court and been able to get a chance for points at least. Missed shot on the first one from Steven Richardson. That alley-oop in the first half that we saw, crowd went nuts. Immediately coming down and getting a basket was MSU Billings. Same thing there, as the crowd trying to revel in that magician magic from Mr. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, and then next thing you know, Steven Richardson gets 2 free throws, which he makes 1 of 2. All the way down, they forgot about Christian Hafner, and it worked. Christian Hafner must have hid behind the garbage can and found himself in the corner wide open. There's a missed shot. Rebound, Hafner. Skinny with it. Thompson, fade away. Got it to go. St. Martin's is starting to have fun, up 21 here in the second half.
What do you do if you're the Yellow Jackets, Scott? Who do you stop? There are too many options on this Saints roster. Okay, maybe you shut down Skinny. Guess what? Then there's Bunn, Hafner, Sipe. We can go on and on. Greeley down low, Alcindor down low, Tyke Thompson, Stokes. I mean, sure, stop 1 or 2 maybe, but all of them?
It's a tough task. And clearly when the Saints squad is on, they can beat anybody in the country, and I don't think much people would deny that. The offense we've seen, this is to the bucket, a missed layup from Jawan Tot as he replaced his brother. Wow. There's a no-look. Hunter Sipe misses the layup, and then it's out off of SMU. Skinny giving out some veteran abilities, coaching Hunter Sipe what he wanted him to do there. But I think half of that is he knew that one could have been on a highlight reel if that shot was put up and in off the glass. Instead, Hunter Sipe couldn't convert. But, yeah, still I mentioned when you're up 21, you start to really have fun out there on the court. This is Bob. Guarded well by Hafner. Great defense around the perimeter. He doesn't just play good offense. And Christian Hafner, I'll tell you what, if you're a young kid and you're going to be, you think the kind of archetype you're going to fall into is a shooter, watch Christian Hafner off the ball. He's always looking to get open. Fade away, missed shot there. Rebound goes to Ba. Now Christian Hafner guarding Carrington Wiggins, and great defense right on him, but Carrington Wiggins, one of the best offensive players in the conference, is able to get one by Christian Hafner and get himself off glass and in. Under 8 to go here in the second half. This game far from over, but St. Martin's, they're riding high after another 3 from Tyke Thompson.
They are so close to shooting better from beyond the three-point line than they are from the field.
And that isn't the first time this season that we've said that.
No.
They do that once every 2 or 3 games, it seems. That's a nice hook shot put in from three-point land. MSU shooting 26%. St. Martin's shooting 56%, as they are officially now shooting better from three-point land than from the field. That would have been absurd had it gone in. And then a muffed pass as the ball trickles out of bounds for only the assistant coach, Luke Fennelly, to grab. 71-51, St. Martin's up big as we head to the dying minutes of this GNAC battle. Back here, St. Martin's with a 20-point advantage over, as the GNAC standings currently look, the number 1 team in the conference. That will change if this result holds. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, nobody stops you, take it to the bucket. That will do. 73-51, and this McDurham coach team, who Aaron Landon will be the first to tell you, McDurham, one of the most respected coaches in this conference, and a big part of that is because of how disciplined his team is, how well he coaches his team. And they have just been unraveled by St. Martin's. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner can't get it to go. The missed shot works out as a rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Shimmy shake. And the ball hit the shot clock there. And a foul is called on St. Martin's.
Not a lot gone right this evening for the Yellow Jackets. Shooting just 38.9% from the field, 25% from 3. I don't care how good you are, that's not going to get it done.
Cham Spencer and Brandon Bunn both with 3 fouls. That's the only kind of foul trouble to look at. But St. Martin's, one of the deepest teams in the conference, as is MSUB. So some foul trouble won't keep them down too much. Carrington Wiggins makes the first. And we'll prepare to shoot the second. That foul was called on Kyle Greeley, his first. Makes the second. On the floor for SMU, Thompson, Skinny, Sipe, Greeley, and Hafner. On the other side, it's Richardson, Baugh, Wiggins, Shabazz, and Tott, Jalen Tott. Saints into the motion offense. I thought Tyke Thompson was going to call for a moving screen there, as he didn't make some contact and then shuffled to kind of absorb the impact that he was getting from the defender. Going to be a foul actually on MSUB. Now Greeley with the smaller Baugh on him. He turns and flips it in. Too easy for Kyle Greeley. .5:45 to go. Wiggins all the way. And he'll get another foul call. Good amount of Carrington Wiggins free throws, or points, come from the free throw line. A great slasher as well as a great shooter.
Wiggins just 11 tonight. Let's make that 12 with the free throw.
Stephen Richardson has stepped up, 16 points for him. There's 4 players on this MSU Billings squad that average double figures, though. It is a true committee effort. 2 shots made at the stripe. 75-55 is now our score. When I was thinking about this game, it was who is going to be forced to play to whose style. When they played in Billings, it turned into a defensive kind of scrap fest. This one has had some scrappy elements, but really it's been fast-paced, 3-point shooting game, and even though that's good for Richardson, who is shooting the rock well, St. Martin's team just overwhelming him, and Skinny right there with the shot clock ticking down makes it from deep 3-point land.
Coach is all smiles and laughter on the Saints bench after that one.
Tott can't get that one to roll in. Rebound Skinny. He'll head up a fast break. 5-on-4 across to Sipe. Sipe can't get it to go. Tip in. Coming the other way for Kyle Greeley. Even when they miss, it still finds a way in the bottom of the net. Traveling is going to be called, but Tott, more importantly really for him, coming up hobbling, but he's going to stay in the game right now.
Turn the ankle. Official talking to him.
Yeah, he just dragged that ankle. That was why he was called for the traveling. So he kind of folded it over and was forced to take another step, so he didn't essentially just snap off his ankle. Coming up limp, he's staying in there, and McDerm or Luke Fennelly, neither of them are looking to anybody on the bench to try and sub in. Hunter Sipe puts the rock on the ground, spinning around, looks out to Greeley, and Greeley will reset. 12 on the shot clock. Now Hunter Sipe again, battling his way towards the basket. Christian Hafner, back iron, gets his own miss. Now he'll attack. He'll float it up, gets it to go. A rare 2-point bucket from Christian Hafner.
Might have to go back in the record books. Does he have any?
Time out on the floor. 82-55. The St. Martin Saints are flying by the MSU Billings Yellow Jackets. We'll be back for the final 4 minutes of action when we return on the Saints Digital Network. Scott Gladstone here with Sean Wally to bring you the final 3 minutes and 55 seconds of a GNAC clash between the top two teams in the conference. The first chance to look at Anders Epperly, one of two Montana natives on the team, a former Big Fork Viking. He's got the ball now up top. He'll take it to the rack and flip it up and in. We also see a couple other new faces. Jaron Fritz, who's out of Glen Rock, Wyoming. He's on the floor, as is Tyler Neary, another Wyoming kid. Tyke Thompson from downtown misses the shot. Rebound goes to Tyler Neary. Also, Emmanuel Akpan out of Rockland, California is on the floor. And Ajanaku, the lone starter, remains on the floor. Turnover goes the way of the Saints, and as soon as head coach Aaron Landon recognizes the bench being put in for MSUB, he puts the nod to his bench players to make their way out. In and out and in and out again as the miss happens for Christian Hafner. It is a 25-point lead right now, as that one was a long way from going in. And this packed student section that is really an overflow capacity will let the air ball hear it.
Scott, I talked to somebody involved with this GNAC conference. I won't name who. Nobody at the conference itself, let me say that. But they said MSUB is good, but they're not as good as their record shows. And they believe that top to bottom, the Saints are the better squad, and they're showing it so far tonight. But conversely, MSUB did beat the Saints earlier this year. So both teams are good, and we'll see what happens in the conference tournament.
Jaron Fritz just made that shot. Jaron Fritz, two-time JUCO transfer out of Sheridan Community College as well as Northwest Community College. Saints are letting this clock tick down. Hunter Sipe, a pump fake, then he'll attack the bucket and commit the charge. That must have hurt for Anders Epperly, who took that one, and now the starters, or the five that played a good chunk of that second half on the floor, will check out to a standing ovation from the fans here at Marcus Pavilion. Onto the floor, Linker, Alcindor, Dilworth, Devin Owens, as well as Champ Spencer. The only loss that MSUB has taken by more than this one, as Champ Spencer goes over top of Emmanuel Akpon to try and get that and can't do it successfully. The only loss that is larger than this one that MSUSB has taken was all the way back on November 23rd when they lost 97-38. A brutal defeat at the hands of the number 6 ranked Black Hills State squad. Three-pointer on the way, off front iron. Offensive rebound goes to Akpon. He kicks it out, finds Tyler Neary. And all these bench players getting their opportunities to score in. That floater, that one can't go. So 4 total shots on that possession. None of them find the bottom of the net. With 50 seconds and a standing student section, the Saints will look to close this contest out. Owens, the turnaround. Owens drops it through the bottom of the net.
Always good when guys get a chance to score that don't get in the game that often.
Under the bucket, and a slamma-jamma from Emmanuel Ajanaku. Sarcastic applauses from the student section as Bryson Dilworth will tick down the final dribbles of this contest. A 23-point win for St. Martin's University over what is now the other team tied for first in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. The Saints are marching atop the conference. 4 games to go in GNAC play, and it will be a test of who can finish out their regular season in a better manner. Saints head up to Alaska to play 2 games against the Seawolves and the Nanooks, while MSUB will also have 2 games against Alaska, Anchorage, and Alaska Fairbanks. Their game next week when the Saints are in Alaska is against Seattle Pacific, so they have 3 to play. That Seattle Pacific one looms large in terms of how this season shakes out. We'll be right back with an interview from head coach Aaron Landon as well as one player. 84-61 is our final score. Also, Sean and I will be back to close out the contest at the end of the broadcast, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an interview on the Saints Digital Network. Scott Gladstone here with head coach Aaron Landon after the convincing 84-61 win. I know, because I get to see you in the office a good amount, I know how much pressure you put on yourself and this team to show up for big games like this. This is Pack to Pav. It's a whiteout. This is the biggest crowd for people that have been here a couple years. They said this is the biggest crowd that they've seen. Might have been the biggest crowd in your tenure here. How nice is it to be able to show the crowd this just tremendous outpouring of offense and great defense, everything all around?
I actually thought the crowd had a huge hand in this. Just like electric down here, student section, and credit them because our baseball team's not here, and sometimes those are our vicious guys up front. They get settled in that corner. So love having the baseball guys, but our student section stepped up. We just had great energy in here tonight, and when you're fighting against such a good team like that, you need all the help you can get. Montana State's an incredible team. They're well coached. Those guys are really, really tough, and we've learned that the hard way. So it took everybody tonight, and that includes all the fans.
So looking at this game, you guys play a very different style of play. You guys are fast. You guys want to shoot the three ball. Their defense is so good. And of course, you mentioned you ran into that in Billings, just how ferocious their defense can be. How did you guys get this game to be played your way rather than have them kind of turn it into how they want to play it and how they, have won so many close games and just continue to grind it out?
Yeah, I don't think I have a great answer. They play exactly how they should. I think McDermott, all respect to the other guys in the conference. This conference is filled with great coaches. McDermott has been coaching college basketball. He was coaching Division I college basketball when I didn't have a driver's license, and he knows exactly how to get his guys dialed in. They didn't do a bad job. We were hitting shots early. We were shooting, I think, over 53% at that second media. With 12 minutes left in the first, that's a great way to start a game. You got to be able to get stops in order to run, and we want to run, and we don't want to let teams set their defense, and they're really disciplined. Tonight, the one thing I will say that we noticed was they were really aggressive on the offensive glass. If you look at their numbers, they don't traditionally, finish games with a ton of offensive rebounds, and they're an incredibly physical and athletic team. But I think that's intentional because they want to set their defense, and it's really smart, and he's got them bought in on that. Tonight, with a lot of conference positioning on the line, I told these guys at half, I said, of course these guys are going to scrap on the offensive glass. This is too big a moment. And so we talked about that at halftime. We didn't have any big adjustment. We just talked about rebounding and winning 50-50 balls, which was the only thing that we weren't doing right in the first half. I thought defensively we were fine. Offensively, everything was cool. Bringing him up, I thought he really stepped up on the glass early in the game when we had a lot of guys, having trouble finding rebounds and blockouts. So we just had to get some stops to be able to get out and play our style of offense, and we did that, especially in the second half.
One similarity between you and MSU Billings, both you guys have a lot of transfers in, a fair amount of JUCO guys, and I think that's something that both you and McDermott do really well is grabbing these guys in and adjusting them to your system, how you guys want to be successful, how you want to win games. You do it so quickly because you look at their roster, everybody but one guy, but three guys actually started or didn't start at their college. They played JUCO or they transferred from somewhere else. And, we're about to talk to Tyke Thompson, who's a JUCO transfer. And, you take a look at all these guys. How do you – what's your approach to bringing new guys into the system? Sipe and Bunn have come in, been effective right away. Stokes, I could list off all the new guys to the squad, and they hit the ground running from day one and have just been so successful right off the bat.
Well, we get I don't want to say we get killed for it, but we get criticized for not taking more high school guys. The thing about transfers is they were once high school guys too. So it's not like we're talking about players that never went to high school. And what happens is a lot of times these guys go somewhere and they learn a lot, good or bad. And there's just a level of maturity sometimes with a fresh start or a second chance for some guys. I think the key to transfers is having leadership. It doesn't work if you just take on, and I've been through it on the other side too, so I got no magic recipe. And Tyke was here from the very beginning. Like, we brought in transfers our first year too, and our locker room was a disaster. But when you get some guys, and Tyke's had a huge hand in our recruiting, he gets his buddies up, and then that becomes our core. Well, okay, now we got these 3 guys that have known each other since they're little kids, and that is the core of our program. So now Shaquem comes in, and now Nate Stokes comes in. Brandon Bunn and Hunter Sight, that's a reunion for Tyke because he's known them and played with them in college before. So how easy is it for him to grab his roommates, Kyle and Skinny, and say, hey, this is what these guys are good at. Here's how we help them get better. Here's where they need our help. Here's how we lead. That one's easy. And then they pull Shaquem into the fold. They pull Nate Stokes into the fold, and those are good guys. And I think those guys, those types of transfers, Nate Stokes, Shaquem, they're looking for a group of good dudes. I mean, it's just like playing at the park. College isn't, so far different from going to play at the gym. You want to play with good dudes that are unselfish and play the right way. And so we're not doing anything as coaches. It's really about our core. Tyke's been with us. He was kind of our first transfer, and he's really helped tie these guys together. And so I think our chemistry is entirely player-driven. And, we just got to keep them well-fed and, make sure we give them sweatshirts and stuff like that. They're going to eat steak this week. I offered them pizza on Friday night. We do Pizza Friday at my house. Or I said you guys can go double or nothing on some steak. So now I got to, race out and get some donations so we can figure out how to pay for steak.
Finally, Coach, I know that all the other men's basketball teams are playing right now or just finished up or whatever. When they look and they see this final score tonight, what do you want the notice to kind of be out about how this St. Martin's men's team is finishing this season?
I don't know. I just know, we go to Alaska next week. Those dudes are going to want to kill us. I mean, it just is what it is. We'll go to Fairbanks. I looked at the weather yesterday, not to get ahead, and the highs are single digits. The lows are all negative. And so, everybody comes after us. Everybody comes after Montana State Billings because there's been some separation at the top of the league. We've both clinched berths in the GNAC championships. And, you guys know because you work here how good our dudes are. Everybody hates us. Are you kidding me? Like a bunch of guys that, float around and shoot threes. Everybody, they think that we're soft, and, there's no way there's any team that's more hated in the GNAC, and maybe there's no player in the GNAC more hated than this guy. So it's really fun to be a part of, and, I'm just really grateful. Our leaders showed up tonight, our old guys. They were steering the ship, and just fun to be a part of.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck up in the cold next week. Tyke, how we doing?
Good.
Feeling pretty good after that one?
Yeah.
When you started this week, what was kind of the goals? How did Coach Landon? How did you start practice when he was looking at this week and saying, "Got Seattle Pacific, we got MSU Billings, we're the top 3 teams in the conference as the standings hold." What were his goals? What were your goals for this week?
Those are our only 2 losses coming into it, so we were all really hungry to get after it. We knew we could beat them. We feel like we've steadily got better over the course of the season, so we knew we were going to give them a better look, and we did both teams. And it's obviously helpful playing at home in front of a good crowd.
Yeah, talk about the crowd. I mean, this has probably been the biggest crowd since you've been here, maybe.
Yeah, probably. That was awesome. That was fun.
There were some plays there. We talked about the alley-oop in the first half. We talked about some of your big three-pointers, big hits down the stretch. How good does that feel when the place just erupts when you make a bucket?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. We feed off that too. That's like that we feed off that. That just helps us keep going. We want to keep making plays like that, getting stops, getting rebounds, pushing the break, getting out, hitting threes, dunks. It's fun. So we definitely feed off that.
Talk to me a little bit about, I've talked to you about the kind of the Salem trio with you and Kyle, but talk to me about Jaden Nielsen-Skinner as a point guard. I mean, he's always good, but the game on Thursday and this game, he continues to take a step up, and especially when you guys are getting that scoreboard up and, you're really having fun in these second halves, he's going behind the back, throwing the oop. Like, he just has so much fun and so much control over what's happening. How nice is it for you to have a point guard that can just control the game like that?
Yeah, no, that's my guy. Skinny's my guy. It's super fun. It's super easy to play with Skinny. As long as you rebound, you get out on the break, he's going to find you. He's the most selfless player. He's obviously a great passer. Like, it's easy to play with Skinny. It's super fun.
Finally, your coach mentioned it. You guys got your final road trip of the regular season next week. You're up to Alaska. This is the only conference in the country that has Alaska schools in it. What's it like going on the Alaska trip? You went on it last year. Kind of how unique is it in college basketball, just in general, to go up to Alaska, especially we're in the winter. It ain't warm up there.
Yeah, it is unique for sure. Last year we didn't win both out there, and we still had a pretty good time. So we got to win both out there, and that'll make the trip a lot better for sure.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tyke.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one. We'll be right back, Sean Wally and myself, to close out this broadcast in just a moment. Scott Gladstone and Sean Wally with you here after the Pack the Pav whiteout presented by Twin Star Credit Union blowout win for St. Martin's University to go into a tie for first place in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. Saints are in a little bit of a tricky situation here because you get these two wins against these two really good teams, Seattle Pacific and Montana State Billings. And you turn around, you go up to Alaska. It kind of has that trap feeling, you're on the road, you're up against two teams that Aaron Landon just said, are two teams that are going to want to take them out because the Saints handle business with them down here. Saints just got to be on the lookout to make sure to take care of business, finish this regular season strong so they can ensure the best positioning for Bellingham, right, John?
And those teams are quality up in Alaska. We saw what they were able to do last year in the run here in the tournament right here at Marcus Pavilion. So anything is possible, and that's the adage, why they play the games. But the Saints need to take advantage of the momentum they have. And you mentioned Seattle Pacific that they beat on Thursday. They just lost at Western Oregon. So the tide continues to change. The pendulum continues to swing. The momentum and the conference is there for the taking.
All right, well, feel free to tune in to both Alaska Fairbanks and Alaska Anchorage's channels on next Thursday and Saturday to watch the St. Martin's men's basketball team. We'll be back in 2 weeks from now on Thursday, the 23rd and the 25th, correct?
Correct.
It'll be a fun game on the 23rd and then homecoming weekend on the 25th. So another packed house, I'm sure, as the St. Martin Saints could have a chance to go for the regular season GNAC title if they take care of business up in Alaska. Sean, any final thoughts on this one?
We have 2 weeks to ice our voice.
2 weeks to ice our voice, and then we got 2 men's games and 2 women's games here. Plenty of basketball happening at Marcus Pavilion. If you haven't booked your trip out here for that weekend, might as well do it. It'll be a fun one, but if you don't make it, you can join us here on the Saints Digital Network. For all of us here at St. Martin's Athletics that make this happen, Zane Leposki on the camera, Ibrahim Mustafa on stats, Sydney Henderson producing our stream, and we hope you bared with us through maybe some technical difficulties with the internet. My name is Scott Gladstone. This is Sean Wally. Please have a great rest of your night, and stay safe out there.